The 890th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com and use promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 890 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to MMA upside. I apologize. I'm ruining his romantic life. I said he was in love with Tabitha Ricci, which you would think isn't a bad thing to say, because most men probably are, but no, it really is Tracy Cortez that he's in love with.
Which he's got competition. Apparently, Rampage Jackson, also real big in Tracy Cortez. He had her on his podcast, and his co-host made kind of a scene, and it was like really uncomfortable.
Wow. You should you've had her on your podcast. You didn't make a scene, right?
I did not. No, I was pretty nice.
He's a gentleman. He's the gentleman, Daniel Gumby Vreeland. I am, of course, the whiny Canadian liberal, Geoff Fox. MMA Upside, get a podcast and just have Tracy Cortez. Actually, host a podcast with Tracy Cortez, even better, because that always works if you work with your spouse. Thanks for coming to the show. It's episode 890, which is the main card of UFC 319. A couple of housekeeping notes from yesterday's episode, which was our prelim episode. I'm locking in our odds on what's it? Basinger as of right before we recorded. -800 is what we got him at, Gumby.
Okay.
Are you comfortable with that?
I mean, that's better than what I thought it was going to be. And it opened. I saw like one of those like tweets you get from like the offshore books and like or the odds the people who put all the odds in one spot, and it's like he opened it -350, and I was like, oh cool, and I like went to go open it up, and it was like -1300 immediately after that, and I was like, okay, well that didn't last long. It's nice to see that it's come down a little bit. -800. It's fine. Again, I'm not interested in playing it, but that's probably where it should be based on what I've seen from Eric Nolan.
That was the next question. Is it playable? No. Is it parlayable?
I mean, maybe, but like, again, that depends on your appetite for risk, right? Because adding him to a parlay, depending on the size of it, is like going to change that number by like 10. And like, if you're playing big enough numbers, maybe that 10 means something to you. But like, if it's not, and it's giving you like 35 cents, like, of course, that doesn't make any sense at all. So I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win pretty comfortably based on what I've seen from Eric Nolan. But like, again, it sort of depends on your appetite for risk.
Yep. Another thing, sadly, we lost King Bobby Green. Well, he's alive. We didn't lose him. He's not fighting CDF because Green got hurt. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm hearing Green injury right now. When I was looking up odds this morning, I saw that it had been taken off a couple of books. And I was starting to get worried. And then somebody dropped in the Discord that the word out on the street is that King Green is hurt and won't be fighting, which is a shame. A lot of playable numbers on Carlos Diego Fajeda, both on his props and on his money line. So that's kind of a bummer for me. Yeah,
it's also a shame because we did all the work for it and we recorded the episode already. I haven't written anything about it, which is one positive, I guess. If it fell off yesterday, I would have had a bunch of articles written. But Gumby had that included in plays of his. Yeah, so thanks a lot, King. Thanks a lot. And still no odds for the tough finale fights.
I know. I keep digging. I like expect people want action on it, right? Like, don't books want action? Like, isn't that how they make money? And I'm wondering if it's just because they feel like they don't have a good grip on what the public is, and everybody's cowards to post like the wrong number and get steamed up. But mostly when they do that, though, they post with like really small limits before they get a taste. And I don't know. It's wild to me.
Yeah, how's it any different than like regional? I guess there'll be more interest in it because it's on a UFC.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be tons more interest in it. I think that's the problem, right? Is that like when you post Fury FC odds, which are out right now too, if you're interested in Fury FC for Sunday, you post some Fury FC odds and somebody kind of likes a side or somebody kind of likes something and they play on it. Like, that's cool, but remember 319 has got tons of attention on it. Like, this is as hyped as a pay-per-view as I've seen in a minute. Khamzat draws a lot of interest. Dricus seems to be. Is Dricus popular? I feel like he is now.
Maybe, yeah.
I guess beat Sean Strickland and beat Izzy Adesanya and sky's the limit.
Have a personality.
Yeah, he's kind of fun.
Like
And
he
he's
comes back at people if they go after him. So yeah,
new market.
Yeah.
Right? Like South Africa hasn't really had a star ever before. You know, Africa's had a couple, but like South Africa hasn't. So yeah, maybe he's a legit draw.
I got more bad news, Gumby.
Uh-oh.
I just read Aaron Bronstetter, due to an injury, the fight between Rodrigo Cezinando and Neal Donchenko is off.
Oh no.
Rescheduled to a later date.
Well, that is unfortunate.
Yeah. Now, does that mess anything up for you going forward on this episode, or are you good?
I mean, it messes me up mentally. I like Donchenko, and now we only have disagreement on the prelims.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that was one of our few disagreements.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So more work we did for nothing, Gumby.
Huh.
But we covered 10 fights yesterday.
And I forgot to tell you about that fight too, which you didn't even realize. That was a Fade the Canadian fight, because Cezinando, despite being Brazilian, is a native of Canada now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he lives up in Canada, fought for Battlefield. And
I noticed that. I wonder why he was fighting in Canada. Well, maybe that's why I took him.
And the other Brazilian in the Tough House kept calling him a Canadian and pissing him off. So
no one gets mad by that normally, but yeah, I guess if you want to claim
if you want to be a Brazilian.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so maybe we should record before more bad things happen. Get going on these picks.
I mean, we're down to the funny thing is we just lost 2 fights, right? And we're down to 13.
Exactly.
So like
we're doing the normal amount of fights now.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
They must have known. They're like, we're going to make these suckers do extra work for nothing. All right. Before we dive into hopefully 5 fights that will happen, reminder: if you haven't already, download the SGPN app for all our picks and podcasts for free in one convenient place. So SGPN app, wherever you get your apps. All right, let's dive into the main card, 10 p.m. start time. Maybe they realize we can't fit all these prelim fights in like 2 hours. So some people got hurt, quote unquote. We got 5 fights.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. No. I think people got hurt.
Everything. Don't you know everything's a conspiracy, Gumby? No. We have got, like I said, 5 fights we're going to cover as per usual. 10 p.m. start time. Pay-per-view for now. Hopefully it's free in Canada come the new year as well, but we shall see. United Center in Chicago, Illinois, United States of America. The United States of America. Let's break it down. Starting off with a main card fight. It's a flyweight bout. No, you're not going to hear any complaints around these parts about flyweight bouts. You're not going to hear any complaints about a Tim Elliott fight either, are you? No. We got Tim Elliott returning, United States of America versus Kai Asakura from Japan. 3 5-minute rounds, 125. Tell you about Mr. Elliott first. He is 20, 13-1, 3 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted 6 times, 9-1 in the UFC over 2 stints. He's won 3 of 4 and 5 of 10. He won his last bout via submission. That was way back in December 2023. So we're coming up on almost 2 years out of action. He used to fight up at a weight class, 135. He went 4-0 the Ultimate Fighter and was the champion there, and then gave Demetrius Johnson a real good run for his money. In the fight that he title fight that he earned, regional champion, 2009 pro MMA debut. He's a wrestling champion as well. I'm not a grammar champion apparently. Striking stats in his favor, active striking stats in his favor, grappling stats in his favor. That's all based off of one fight for Asakura against the champ.
Against Pantoja.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of skewed. Elliott has outstruck his opponents by 0.73 strikes per minute. He's out-weirded every opponent he's fought as well, plus 267. Asakura 21-5, 13 knockouts, 3 submissions, knocked out 3 times, submitted once. 0-1 in the UFC. That was the title fight we just talked about where he got submitted by the champ. He's won 2 of 3 and 5 of 8. Used to fight up a weight class as well. He was the Rising champion, 2012 pro MMA debut. An inch taller than Elliott, 3 inches of reach, 7 years younger. He got outstruck by Pantoja by 2.12 strikes per minute, minus 300. Good. I guess I start off the main card. Good bounce back fight for Asakura. Actually, not a good bounce fight. It's a hard. Elliott is a hard matchup for anyone. But the age gap, the amount of time he's been on the shelf, and I think Asakura's just on a different level than him. Obviously, like I said, Elliott is very strange in every realm and a very good scrambler as well. But Asakura should be able to pass this test. I will take him with this pick.
I'm going to take a swing on Tim Elliott here. For me, the big piece is that like we've seen Asakura struggle with the grappling in the past, right? And I'm not just talking about Pantoja. Like obviously a Pantoja fight, everybody has trouble with Pantoja's grappling. But in his fight with, go back and when he fought Hirogi Kobu, Hirogi Kobu, former opponent of Tim Elliott, who Tim Elliott out-grappled to win the tough finale, little known fact there. I mean, he beat Kai Asakura largely just by like turning the fight into a grind. And that guy tried to turn the fight into a grind against Tim Elliott and couldn't do it. Now, granted, time has passed. Tim Elliott's not the same guy as he was all those years ago, which is why you see these odds at plus 250. But we're talking about a common opponent that these two have had. Tim Elliott was able to like bring this like funky grappling, scrambling style to it in giving Hero trouble. And then here it is. We have Kai Asakura, who like really struggled with that guy in the grappling. And then, you know, you saw him struggle again with Pantoja. And granted, again, Pantoja, fantastic on the mat. But it's like, it's the submission defense from Asakura that I didn't necessarily love. And like the fact that like it felt inevitable that fight was going to the ground all the time. And with Tim Elliott giving as many weird looks as he does in like awkward angles, I could see Kai Asakura like struggling out the gate to find his range. And that gives Tim Elliott an opening to make this even weirder. So yeah, especially at, what'd you say, plus 250?
Actually, I've updated. I forgot I didn't update the odds this morning. I updated them yesterday. Plus 275, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, yeah, better. And that's incredible for me. Like you can get him at almost 3-1 money right now. To turn this into a scramble and possibly find a submission. Yeah, I love Tim Elliott at that.
Yeah, Asakura is still at minus 300, but yeah, if you shop around, you can get plus 275 for Elliott. He's definitely gonna fight for your money at the very least. He'll make it weird for sure. All right, he will make it weird. We just screened that one. We're moving on to a middleweight fight: Jared Cannonier versus Michael Page, U.S. versus Great Britain. Tell you about the Killer Gorilla first. That would be Cannonier, 18-8, 11 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times. He's 11-8 in the UFC. He's won 1 of 3 and 3 of 6. Won his last bout though via TKO. Used to fight at 205 and 265. Was a regional champ, 2011 pro MMA debut. He's more active landing strikes than Page. He's outstruck his opponents in the UFC just barely. He's at plus 0.11. Better grappling stats than Page, plus 170. Venom Page. Michael Venom Page is 23-3. 13 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. Durable guy. 1-1 in the UFC. He's won 3 of 4 and 9 of 11. He won his last bout. 17-2 in Bellator, RIP. He's fed at 170, 2012 pro MMA debut. A kickboxing champion. 2-0 as a pro boxer. 0-1 in bare knuckle fighting. He's 4 inches taller than Cannonier. He's got 2 inches of reach on him. He's 3 years younger than him. He's outstruck his UFC opponents by 0.75 strikes per minute. He's at minus 186, so close one.
Yeah, and I'm going to go dog out the gate.
Me too, dog.
Yeah, I like Jared Cannonier here. I think we're hyping up Michael Page on a win over Shara Bullet. Where like you knew exactly what kind of fight he was getting, right? Like that fight always was going to be Michael Venom Page getting to stand and strike. And I didn't think he was as good as Shara Bullet when it came to standing and striking. But I knew that that's all he would have to do in that fight, right? So, like, even if you get that pick wrong, like, it was a one-dimensional fight that nobody had to worry about the second dimension. Jared Cannonier is, like, real mean on the mat. You know what I mean? Like, go back and watch that fight where what was it, Derek Brunson, who he bounced his head off the mat like a Super Bowl. Like, he's incredible with the ground and pound. He doesn't wrestle as much as I'd like him to, but you have to imagine in this one, he's going to want to make this a dogfight, right? And, you know, I know Ian Gary is maybe not got the same profile in terms of what he does as Michael Venom Page, but like Ian Gary largely just beat Michael Venom Page by forcing him to wrestle. And to add to all of this, we're now seeing Michael Venom Page up at middleweight, which isn't his natural weight class. He fought down at 170 for his debut. And then, like, decided to go up to 85 to fight Shara Bullet, got 1 win up there, and is now like, oh, I guess I'm going to stay at middle. It's like one of those Chris Curtis mistakes people make. Like, I want to fight up a weight class because I had to take it or it was a short notice one, and now I'm just going to stay there. And like, he'll probably overstay his welcome, or he'll probably stay here too long. Because in my opinion, I don't know how he has much better of a shot than, like, RoboCop did. And RoboCop got decimated, right? RoboCop got knocked the hell out by Jared Cannonier. And like, I know he's a little bit classier on the feet, but RoboCop had the submission defense. RoboCop had the wrestling defense. I don't think he does that. And then when you have him backpedaling to try to avoid the takedown the whole time, I think he's going to eat stuff too. Yeah, give me Jared Cannonier.
Yep, me too. As I said, Cannonier, hopefully he starts grappling, like as you mentioned. Page actually has shot more takedowns than Cannonier has per 5 minutes at distance. So we need him to wrestle a bit, but I think he can make it gritty here. I don't think MVP.
When did Page shoot a takedown?
Yeah, I don't know, but he's
did he on Shara when he ran into trouble?
Attempted 0.71. He's attempting 0.71 takedowns per 5 minutes. It says, according to Nate Latshaw's website. But anyhow, I think Cannonier can make it gritty. It's not like Page is really dangerous at this point either. Like I don't see him knocking him out. I think Cannonier is actually more dangerous on the feet.
I think he is. At least at this point and at middleweight.
Yes. Yep. Definitely more powerful. So give us a dog here. I'm glad we're both in on that. All right. We're also both in on mybookie.ag because we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. They have easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. They will have all these UFC lines there naturally. And when you head to mybookie.ag, use our promo code MMASGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. Rhythm's power trends are now called smart signals. Rhythm continues to crush it with smart signals, essentially the best of the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and it has a high ROI. For example, a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Smart signals are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Here's some stats for you. MLB smart signals are crushing it. Mike Trout and Giancarlo Stanton are combined 14-0 on smart signals, recommending their unders. And WNBA smart signals went 97-65 in July with an ROI of 15.64%. These are so good that Scott and Adam, our boys, literally got booted off one of their bookie accounts for winning too much. Download the Rhythm app, check out Smart Signals, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Gumby has been betting smarter thanks to it as well.
Yeah, and I actually bet not smart last time.
Oh.
Yeah, Veronica Burton from the Valkyries. Mm-hmm. She's burned me so many times that Smart Signals popped up with a little notification to take the higher than on her points last night. And I was like, to hell with that. She's burned me so many times. It was set at 9.5. She went for 30. So you know, Rhythm maybe knows more than I do. Maybe I got a little too big for my britches, having won a couple of times on the WNBA. But make sure you follow along with Rhythm so that you can learn from my mistakes.
Yep. Check it all out for free for 7 days by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM. You don't question Rhythm, Gummy.
37-7 she went for, and
That's
she had
crazy.
been like short of 10 points, like 3 of the last 5 games. Silly.
Yep. Very silly. All right. Let's move on to a fight that will not be silly. It's welterweight. Geoff Neal versus Carlos Prates, US versus Brazil. Tell you about Neal, hands with the Z of steel. 16-6, 10 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted 2 times. 8-4 in the UFC. He's won 1 of 3, 3 of 5, 3 of 7. Won his last bout via TKO, but it was an injury to RDA. Injured his knee. He hasn't really won a fight if you don't want to count that one since like 2022, I believe. He's missed weight 3 times at 170. He went 1-0 Contender Series. Used to fight at 185. 2012 Pro MMA debut. He's more active landing strikes and has better grappling stats than Prates. He's been outstruck by 0.39 strikes per minute plus 208. The Nightmare, Carlos Prates, 21-7, 16 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's knocked out twice, submitted 3 times. 4-1 in the UFC. He's won 11 of 12, but he did lose his last bout. He went 1-0 Contender Series as well. Regional champion. Used to fight at 145 and 155. 2012 Pro MMA debut. Kickboxing champion. 2 inches of height, 3 inches of reach over Neal. 3 years younger. He's been outstruck in the UFC by 1.19 strikes per minute, minus 225. Give me Prates here. Neal is past it. Like he got that injury win, and before that he was losing fights and not beating anyone. Prates is a nightmare, as his name states. Piece him up the feet, maybe finish him. Prates is my pick.
Yeah, I still think Neal's like a top 15 guy. Like I know he hasn't won fights. He's had some kind of rough matchups. That like RDA fight was supposed to be like a fight to get him back on the right track, but like. Then he gets that one in kind of like maybe not the cutest fashion, and we're gonna feed him to Prates. And this is a get right fight for Prates because you know, like I honestly think he could beat Ian Machado Gary. I know he lost that fight, but it was literally just by not getting going early enough, like not pushing the pace in the first couple of rounds. I don't know if he was worried about his gas tank, being that it was a main event or what it was, but like if he had just stepped on the gas earlier, I think he's the better striker. And we're talking about right now saying. He's probably a better striker than Ian Machado Gary, who's, you know, one of the best strikers in the division. He's a surgeon, you know, and I've said it before time and time again, like the way he downloads information, once he knows what you're doing, it's a problem. And with a 3-inch reach advantage here over Geoff Neal, which Neal not so used to dealing with, man, I think Neal's going to swing and miss a lot early, and I think he's going to eat something.
We need Prates to get a faster chip in his computer, though. He's got to process a bit quicker. So
I mean, he processed those other fights pretty quickly. I mean, like again, I would like it with a little bit more aggression if he just like drew out strikes a little bit faster. I think he'd do better that way. But like, hey, who am I to argue with the success he's had in the UFC?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right, we're to our co-main event already. Lerone Murphy in a co-main event on a pay-per-view. He's from England against Aaron Pico from the United States of America. They're fighting at featherweight, 3 5-minute rounds. Murphy is the Miracle or the Iceman. You choose whatever you like to call him. 16-0-1, 7 knockouts, 8-0-1 in the UFC. He's won 8 straight after drawing in his UFC debut.
Zabira Tukhugov, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm pretty sure is about to fight Artem Lobov on the regional.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That draw didn't age well. He's a regional champ. He's fed at 155 plus 156. Pico, 13-4, 9 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted once. This is his UFC debut. He's won 3 straight, 9 of 10. 2 straight wins via TKO. He went 13-4 in Bellator rep. So his whole career was in Bellator. He's fed at 155. He was a wrestling champion, like Olympic alternate in wrestling, also a Golden Gloves boxing champ. 5 years younger than Murphy, inch of height, 3 inches of reach over him, minus 170.
All right. Well, I'm the preeminent Lerone Murphy hater in the Northeast right now, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to go Aaron Pico. Now, I'm going to caveat that by saying every Bellator signee so far, since it's sad and timely collapse, has looked awful, right? Like Patchy Mixes look really bad. By the way, fun Patchy Mix fight next. Did you see who he's fighting next? Jakob Wiklash. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes.
Yeah, Jakob Wiklash, and that's going to be a sick fight. For those of you who know who Jakob Wiklash is. But yeah, so, every Bellator signee has looked like absolute garbage, from Pitbull to Patchy, and like everybody's drawing that parallel to Pico. But like Pico is really, I guess he's more in line with Patchy, but like it's hard for me to like lump him in with Patricio Pitbull, who is like kind of towards the tail end of his career already and like is definitely not peaking. Whereas like his time in Bellator at the end there, like that's kind of where Pico was, even the loss you mentioned, that was was that not an injury or?
Yes. Yeah. He dislocated his shoulder. Right.
Fighting Jeremy Kennedy. And so like, that loss, ultimately is not a big deal to me. I really do think like he could buck this trend and like look good. Now, granted, he can see the bright lights and do the exact same thing as the other 2 guys I just mentioned, but his wrestling game is really good. And as much as people are hyped on whatever that record of Lerone Murphy is, like I just see so many times where he's won and I've been like, yeah, but and then fill in the blanks there. Like he beat Gabriel Santos, and I know I keep harping on this fight. He didn't beat Gabriel Santos. That decision was awful. And ought to have gone to Gabriel Santos. He did beat Josh Emmett. I scored that fight for Murphy too. I'm not taking that one away from him, but he did get taken down 4 times by Josh Emmett and saw like a whole round's worth of time on bottom. Now he's fighting a guy who's arguably a better wrestler than Josh Emmett too, and is probably at this stage in his career quite a bit faster than Josh Emmett on the feet. Does he have the power that Emmett has? No, but like, does that necessarily matter? I don't think so. Am I going to stop asking myself questions about Aaron Pico? No. So yeah, give me Aaron Pico. I'm definitely not running to the ticket window on him because of all of the caveats I just added there, but I can't stop my fading of Lerone Murphy until he burns me yet again.
I'm counting on Bellator being Bellator.
I thought you were going. I knew you were going to do that.
Undefeated fighter who's not knocking out UFC jitters, obviously, and has fought and beaten better opponents than Pico. It's pretty plain and simple as that.
Has he? Who's Pico's best win?
I don't know. That's the thing. Pico has not.
Let me pull that up because
he hasn't fought anyone on Josh Emmett's level. I know that for sure.
He hasn't fought anyone on Josh Emmett's level.
Yes, he fought in Bellator. So yeah, Josh Emmett could be a champion in Bellator.
You think so?
Yeah. He beat Henry Corrales, Pedro Carvalho, James Gonzalez. There is his last 3 wins, and they're the best 3 he's come up against. Leandro Higo. See, he hasn't.
Early in his career, beaten Higo, but like that's and like Adam Borix is maybe close to that level, but again, that was so early in his but that's so early in his career. He's like a different fighter than that now. Yeah, you're right. There are clearly levels to the opponents at this point.
Yes. Well, we shall see if Pico can come through. He was super hyped, and then he hit a little roadblocks, or speed bumps, excuse me. He seems to have turned it around, though, other than what he got injured. So that really can't blame him for that. Blame his shoulder for that. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. Nice to see him in the UFC before he's totally washed up. So All right, before we get to our main event, let me tell you about Circa Million and Circa Survivor. The world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest. That would be Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true degen if you're not competing in the Circa football contests. Come hang out with SGPN at the Circa Contest Weekend, which is August 21st to the 23rd, for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And Underdog at Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em, or you can win up to 500 times your entry. Gumby's got to play for you right now, I bet.
Sure, yeah. We're going to go Tarek Skubal. He's pitching on Thursday night against the Minnesota Twins. Underdog's got him set at 7.5. Last time he faced the Twins, he struck him out 13 times, and that was only about a month ago. No reason to think he can't get 8 this time. So give me Tarek Skubals higher than on his strikeouts.
And take our code when you head over to Underdog Fantasy. That would be MMA SGPN. That way you get to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. We're to our main event already. So much quicker than yesterday. We're doing half the amount of fights, I guess.
That'll help.
UFC middleweight championship. Dricus du Plessis from South Africa. Khamzat Chimaev. What flag does he have beside him now on there?
That looks like UAE.
UAE flag. Yeah. He's been Sweden, UAE, and
Russia.
Yeah. Dagestan. Is he? He's from Dagestan. Is he?
Yeah,
not?
but that's a Russian.
Which is part of Russia.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have their own flag or not.
They might have another flag, but yeah, it's in Russia.
What if I call it the Dagestan? Would that be a problem?
I don't think you're gonna get people liking that.
All right, let's tell you about the challenger first. Khamzat Chimaev. He is Boers, which means wolf. 14-0, 6 knockouts, 6 submissions, 8-0 in the UFC. Submission win in his last bout. He's fed at 170. He's a wrestle champion. I did it again. A wrestling champion. An inch of height over du Plessis. Better grappling stats than DDP, and he's outstruck his opponents in the UFC by 2.11 strikes per minute. The challenger minus 210, a big favorite. Still knocks the champ. 23-2, 9 knockouts, 11 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 9-0 in the UFC. He's a champ with 2 defenses under his belt already. He's won 11 straight bouts. He's not lost since October 2018. He also has multiple regional championships on his
mantle. Correct.
Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Used to fight at 170, 2013 pro MMA debut. He's a kickboxing champion as well. He's got an inch of reach over Chimaev, more active fighting strikes than Chimaev. He's outstruck his opponents by 1.22 strikes per minute, plus 210. So the champ is a 2-1 underdog here. Gumby, it's me first. DDP is my pick here. Shockingly, I think I can trust him more at this point, which is weird. He's strange, obviously. But we're still questioning whether he's good at this fighting thing. He's going to do a bunch of things that are really weird and not proper and are eventually going to get him in trouble. I just thinking he's going to be able to outlast the 5 minutes that Chimaev has in his gas tank. He always has 5 minutes, especially now after he had long COVID or whatever he had. Seems to be worse now. It still has. Yeah, that's right. Long COVID. He still has it. If Kamaru Usman can steal late rounds from Chimaev, I think DDP can for sure. DDP looks like he's dying at all times in there, but he may get tired.
Cardio's great.
But he always gets his cardio back. And he's just super, super dangerous and very, very strange. Obviously, this pick could look extremely horrible. Like he could get smoked in 10 seconds, taken down, and
I don't think he can
though.
Can he?
He could.
Like
he could.
He just doesn't.
He doesn't quit.
He's a guy who finds a way, right? And he doesn't. I think that's the piece for me too. He just doesn't seem to quit. And like the biggest, I saw a video on Twitter. Is it Miguel Cass? The guy who puts the
Miguel Class. Yeah.
Class. Sorry about that. But shout out to that guy because he always puts like really fun technical videos together. And I'm pretty sure it was his that I saw that just looked at like the butterfly hooks and like the way of getting your hips away that Kamaru Usman used to get away from Khamzat late in that fight. Now, granted, early in that fight, Khamzat got right on his back and like clearly was in control. But like, remember that one judge gave round 2 and 3 to Kamaru Usman. right? Like he was tired enough in round 2 that an aged, short notice, up a weight class Kamaru Usman took 2 rounds off of him by one judge's scorecards. Now, ultimately, that wasn't enough, but like that really tells you like what Khamzat does deeper into fights. I still think if Robert Whittaker could have gotten away from some of that early work, like who knows what would have happened late in the rounds? Because look, Gilbert Burns torched him on the feet late in the rounds. So like, DDP being as, first of all, tough, right? Like he's a hard finish no matter what. And then in addition to that, being a guy who just like has another gear in rounds 3 and 4, like I think in obviously 5, but like, I think if he just survives the early onslaught, creates scrambles, he even said it in an interview. I know Khamzat's going to take me down, but the question is, what does Khamzat do when he can't take me down again? When I get back up, what is he going to do then? And I really do think that's the name of the game here. I think as long as he creates those scrambles, gets back to his feet, I think you're going to see a tired Khamzat early in round 2, maybe 3.
Khamzat's never fought in the States either. I don't know if that's going to make a difference at all, but it's
got a visa now.
Yeah, maybe amazing how that happened when someone got in office. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to change his preparation or if it's going to be more pressure on him or anything. I just thought I would mention that. So, all right, we're both in.
Have you been following all the Khamzat conspiracy theories?
No.
They're pretty good. Somebody like showed a video of him like during his press conference putting a jacket on, and they're like, "Oh, he must be sick. He has the chills." And it's like, or the AC was just like heavily on in those UFC buildings. Exactly. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I was in the Apex on Tuesday. It was icy cold in there. 116 in the parking lot. Icy cold on the inside.
Amazing. Yeah, well, maybe we'll talk more Apex tomorrow when we do our or later today. But yeah, when we do our DWCS episode. So usually the conspiracy theories are staff. That guy's got staff. Look, this guy's got staff. Or yeah.
It used to be like he's got zits on his back and therefore he uses steroids.
Yeah. It's always fun. Yeah. All right, let's give you a recap, but don't you leave. We have more players for you. We both have DDP, which is nice. I have Murphy. He has Pico. We both have Prates, both have Cannonier. He has Elliott. I have Asakura. All right. We are talking about locks, dogs, props, and Hungry Man Jong something. I think it's me to start this week.
Yeah. Do you want me to guess yours?
Yeah, you know who it is. I talked about it yesterday.
You got Brad Battle, right?
Yeah, Brad Battle. Minus 155. As I said yesterday, I love the line here for that.
I had written it down before yesterday.
Yeah, see? Gumby and I are soulmates, so there you go.
I'm going to take Carlos Prates. Yeah, I think the stage of Jeff Neal is just not sharp enough to deal with him. Low 200s, I'll take that.
Do you know my dog too, Gumby?
Yeah, you got Jared Cannonier.
No, I actually changed
Dricus to Plessis.
Nope.
Man, I'm kind of baffled that it's neither.
Maybe I should.
Oh, did I talk you into your own pick?
Yeah, no, I was going to take close, but no, you're right. Cannonier. Okay. I think I prefer Cannonier.
No,
bigger number. I think I was waiting to see if you were in on it or not because the fact that you're in on it makes me even more confident on it. So yeah, better number than close as well. So give me Cannonier plus 170.
That's hilarious that I knew you better than you knew.
It's true.
I'm gonna. You know my dog.
Who's Elliott?
No, come on, Gerald Mearshart.
Oh, Mearshart, right? Yeah.
Yeah, GM3.
Yesterday was a long time ago. Come on.
Yeah, Gerald Mearshart.
We're locking you in on. What do we have that one? It's in the twos.
Plus
I think.
205. Oh, no, plus 205. Nice.
Yeah, that's not high enough for Mearshart normally. Normally he's in the 3s and 4s when you play him.
Maybe we'll talk about another Mearshart number in a
moment. My prop play is always harder for you to figure out. Unless you read my article, which you don't.
I wrote one down. I wrote down Chase Hooper by sub.
Oh, that's a good one. I have Lupi Godinez via decision. You probably don't like that one. Plus 109.
Oh, I'm kind of surprised you can get that at plus.
I know. Okay. Because if you're gonna pick Lupi, we had her at minus 143 tomorrow. She's not gonna. Yesterday, sorry, she's not gonna finish Andrade.
I wonder if just the ability to get finished or the problem of getting finished recently for Andrade is stretching those odds out more than Lupi is.
I'll take it though.
Yeah, that's a good number. I'm gonna take a main event prop here. I'm gonna say Dricus to Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. I'm gonna go over 2.5 rounds.
Okay.
Because as I said, I'm in on the Duplessis.
If you think he's gonna win, then yeah.
And I don't think there's any way that he wins less than that unless Khamzat's gassing is like next level. I think he drags him into deep waters and like finishes him in the 3rd or 4th. So with that over 2.5, you can get at minus 110, which is really good for me.
All right, recap. Prates battle, locks, Mearshart, Cannonier, dogs. Main event over 2.5 rounds. Lupi via decision. Lupi Cardenas. Lupita is our RR props. RR. I'm a pirate now. All right, Hungry Man Jung, super fan. What?
I went round robin. We got
well
now only 13 fights to choose from, but I could find 5 props in there that I liked. I am going to shout out quickly. I had my original 5-fight round robin here. Had CDF by knockout. That was plus 200. Kind of bummed out that disappeared. That was one of my favorite ones. I actually thought about making that my prop of the week, but nevertheless, here we go. We're going to start with Brian Battle. Brian Battle by knockout. You want to take a guess at what Battle knocking out Ruzaboyev is?
He's at minus 155. He submits and knocks people out. It's a very good line. Plus 300.
550.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. So we're going to start with that piece right there. I'm going to tack on my dog of the week, Gerald Mearshart, by submission. Olashejuk's been submitted 1 billion times. Plus 400 on Gerald Mearshart to win by submission.
Why?
I mean, if he's going to win, that's probably how, right? Like, and he's a 2-to-1 underdog. You can get double that on the sub line. So plus 400 there. I'm going to take Dricus du Plessis by KO. Again, I do think that fight goes over 2.5, but I think as it gets into deep waters, he's just going to overwhelm throw. It could even be a standing TKO, really, because I think Khamzat's just going to wilt. And right now you can get that at plus 500. So I'm going to put those 3 together. I'm going to take Tim Elliott by sub in there too. If he's gonna be Asakura, that's probably how he's got to do it, right? He's got to drag him down and submit him. That's plus 900 right now. And then the aforementioned Chase Hooper by sub, which is what I thought you were going to pick.
Yeah.
Chase Hooper by sub is plus 200. And I know Alexander Hernandez hasn't really shown an issue with submissions in the past, but it's Chase Hooper. We talked about it on yesterday's show. He just seems to be next level. So if you roll those 5 props together into a round robin, it's going to take basically 2, depending on the 2 you hit, to break even. 3, you're going to cash big. And then you got a good song going on there?
Oasis, sorry. Yes, go ahead. It's almost time. I'm going to see him soon. 2 weeks.
Nice. Yeah, 2 should be profit, or 2 should be break even. 3 should be profit. 5's going to give you plus 530 on whatever you played. Or 530 to 1. 530 to 1.
530. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Not plus 530. That would be a real low number.
Yeah, exactly.
530 to 1.
Yeah, there's a lot of good lines there. Even if you just want to play them separately, there's a lot.
And I know we do this jokingly as like a round robin, but playing these separately, again, it's going to take one of them for you to break even for the most part, unless it's the Chase Hooper one. You're gonna turn around on the positive side if 2 hits. So
battle knockout, Mearshart sub, DDP knockout, Elliott sub, Hooper sub. All right, you are set. We'll be in the Discord talking about what fight fell off. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Hopefully we won't be doing that anymore. This is like old times when that used to happen all the time. The good old pandemic era. You can also catch us, of course, on YouTube if you're not already. We're an MMA Gambling Podcast. Thank you for subscribing and for commenting. Where else? Twitter, of course, SGPN MMA. Gumby runs that. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Geoff Fox Writer there and on Instagram. Now that we told you who's going to win and how, you can win my free UFC Pick'em contest at moneymma.substack.com. Gumby's got another good podcast. He interviews good, interesting people in MMA. It's called Top Turtle, and this week he has on who?
Yeah, we got a couple of Contender Series guys, Jack Congdon and Mandel Nalo, both fighting on September 2nd.
So check it out. And of course, we can be found at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Gumby will bid you farewell, but only for mere minutes, perhaps seconds even.
All right, I'm Dana Gumby Vreeland. He still knocks Geoff Fox, and we will see you later today.